Oh, I'm liking this lighting. Good morning. What is going on, guys? Today is Thursday, 23rd of June, and last night Ireland beat Italy 1-0. So today is a national holiday for everybody who supports football. So the whole country is pretty much off. Not really, but I'm off today. And this is my first meal of the day. You just see me prepare it there. Looks pretty disgusting, but actually it's not too bad. I don't like egg whites myself, but it's all in the name of getting more volume, and that's going to be perfect. And volume, I mean more like more food, being able to eat more food. Just fresh blueberries, oats, egg whites, and some whey. And it's perfect pre-workout, staple right before I work out. Gonna hit pull, I think, in about 45 minutes over in Southside Gym. So gonna tuck into this, watch a bit of YouTube, and then get ready to train. Oh, by the way, I got a new lens, so I can do this whole Casey Neistat thing. Amazing. You don't realize how expensive using DSLRs are until you actually buy one, when you have to buy like 5 different lenses and then microphone and all that, tripod, all that crap, and you think it's like €300 or €400, and then it ends up being like €1,500. Crazy. I'm also having some vitamin D, or daily vitamins, and some vitamin D right before I train. I think everybody should always take a multivitamin. That's a multivitamin, and vitamin D, and then some vitamin C. It's going to help with some colds, or preventing colds. And this is my favorite YouTuber of all time, Jason Genova.
This is for all you fucking haters. Everlast your bitch. You don't think I know what to fight? Bust your fucking head.
Palm kick, palm kick.
Look at this. Up your butt. Watch this. Bring back the free kick. Up your butt.
Alright, so breakfast slash pre-workout meal finished. Time to get some caffeine feels on with some pre-workout. And this is what I'm going to take. Just some of this pre-workout. I'll put that there. Some creatine. And then, because I think it's going to be a workout that has had a lot of volume in it, because I'm training with a friend, I'm going to take some BCAAs. I don't generally recommend BCAAs that often, but if you're doing a really long workout, maybe. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with taking them. It's just that they're expensive and they're not necessary. So, gonna mix up some of these, then go work out. Alright guys, so this is the first time I've trained with Larry. He's in national level bodybuilding in Ireland, and he brought me through the paces in this back workout. He made me work parts of my back that I've never worked before. We used really light weights. I think I used like 15 kilos for this dumbbell row, and my back is killing me today now, the day after the workout. We started off with these kind of dumbbell rows where we actually brought our shoulder blade back, so we protracted or retracted our scapula so that we took all of our bicep out of it and just only used our lats in the movement. And I'm telling you, we really feel it today. Next, we moved on to some pull downs, and this is actually the third movement that I didn't film the first exercise. And in this exercise, we again brought our scapula back so that we were only working our lats and working the actual muscles that you want to work, rather than just pulling the weight for the sake of pulling the weight. We really used way less weight, or I used way less weight than what I previously used for this, and it was really difficult, without actually making the tempo too slow, really focusing on the muscles that you want to work. So once we brought the shoulder blades together and retracted the scapula, I could really feel it on the lats.
Come on. Keep retracting it, come on.
So our final movement then was just some lat pull downs. It was with the rope and the cable extension, and it was just basically bringing down the rope from a high to a low position, trying to work it as much as possible. We then moved on to some bicep curls. Larry's looking pretty big in this. I said he should have wore a Bane mask, it would look pretty cool on this. And then we moved on to just some preacher curls to finish off, or basically tag it on to the end of the back workout. We weren't doing that much volume for arms. Then after arms and back, we did some calves and we did a cluster set, which basically was 5 sets of 5 with 10 seconds of rest in between. It was an absolute killer. Right, so it's 6:15. Finished training with Larry a couple hours ago now at this stage, but I just fell asleep on the couch. So this isn't my post-workout meal that I'm about to show you. It's my post-workout meal. Post-workout meal was 6 slices of low-calorie bread, like Weight Watchers bread, with 3 slices of cheese and 2 chicken breasts, which were really dry because I cooked them yesterday. That's if it fits your macros right there. This is my post-workout meal that I'm having right now. So it is lean mince with some of this stuff on it. Never had it before. Spinach, and then some couscous. Actually, it's this stuff here. Yeah, quinoa and bulgur wheat. Never tried it before, but the macros are pretty good. What are the macros like? 60 grams of carbs for the whole thing, which is pretty good. 62 grams of carbs. And then I will eat this whole garden salad that I got in Aldi. There's no tomatoes in it because I absolutely hate tomatoes, so I took the tomatoes out of it. I'm going to eat this, and then I am going to talk to you about tracking your macros, IIFYM, versus meal planning, and why I'm switching to meal planning from now on. Damn, my phone keeps buzzing all the time. It's so annoying. First, I will start with meal plans and benefits. If you want to pause the video, or if you want to take a screenshot of the video, go ahead and do that. Now we're going to start with meal plans. So, meal plans are easy to adjust, have less decision fatigue, they have more food volume generally, and you're not as open to as much temptation. So if I am to discuss these a little bit, meal plans basically, you know, easy to adjust. If you need to take away some calories, you can reduce, say, the amount of potatoes that you eat in one meal, or the amount of rice, or something like that. Less decision fatigue, so the more decisions that you make, the less. So let's discuss these a little bit. So first, easy to adjust. You know, if you need to reduce the calories, basically you can reduce the amount of potatoes or rice that you eat at a certain meal. Easy, hey presto. B, less decision fatigue. So I've talked about decision fatigue in previous videos, and that's basically the deterioration of the quality of your decisions, the more decisions that you make. And as you start to diet and get lower body fat, your decisions, or your head, just becomes a little bit fucked up. And not that kind of fucked up that you get when you drink 6 cans of beer, but the fucked up where you just can't really make decisions properly. The next one is food volume. So generally when you're making a meal plan, you're going to try and get as much volume in there as possible. Get like mushrooms, lots of vegetables. So you're not just going to be, you know, eating your 50 grams of carbs from Haribo just because you had made a poor decision, going back to decision fatigue, and you know, decided that you're going to get your 50 grams of carbs from a food that's going to keep you full. The next one is not open to as much temptation. So if you know that your next meal is, I don't know, rice and some peppers and some chicken or whatever it may be, you're not going to be saying, maybe I will have that little bit of cake because I can fit it into my macros, and then it might send you on a spiral because if it's a trigger food or something like that, which is often a problem with myself. Now we're going to discuss the negatives of meal plans, or at least the ones that I find are negative. So the cons of meal plans are they're more rigid and there's less mobility with friends and family. So let's discuss these. So meal plans are rigid. So if you're really craving something and that's not what your coach is giving you on the meal plan, say he said you have to eat steak and you don't like steak, well, you still have to eat steak because it's on your meal plan. Second one is less mobility with friends and family. So if you're out at a social function, or you know, it's your friend's birthday, or you're out at a meal with your family and you have the tub there and you're the Tupperware Tony, you have to eat your meal because it's on your meal plan. So it's a little bit awkward there, and that's how it's a little bit more rigid. Now let's go on to flexible dieting or counting macros, the pros and the cons. So flexible dieting. So the benefits or the pros are you're more socially flexible. You can make your own food choices or substitutes, and there's a wide variety of foods. So let's discuss this. Well, yes, of course it's more sociable at events because you're just counting your macros, and basically you pretty much can eat within reason any food that you can get your hands on at that event. Number two, make your own substitutes. So you can, if your coach says you have to eat steak, you can change that for chicken and maybe a little bit of fat and something else. You're just calculating the macros. And if he says you have to eat protein from this source, you can just switch the source and hit the same amount of protein. And then again, that comes into the wide variety of food choices because, at the end of the day, it's your overall macros that are the most important in this. And you can just, eat whatever foods that you want within reason. Now let's talk about the negatives of flexible dieting or IIFYM, or just simply counting your macros, if there ever was such a thing. So, it requires more thought, and it can often lead you to eat more junk food. So let's discuss that. How does it require more thought? So this is basically the opposite of less decision fatigue. So because, if you have to calculate what foods or how much food you have to eat of a certain food, because you have 50 grams of protein and 10 grams of fats and 6 grams of carbs left, or something like that, it does require a lot of decision, and sometimes that can just add up and you'll make poor decisions, as in you'll just say, screw this, I'm gonna eat the ice cream or I'm gonna eat the Snickers bar and I'll worry about it later. And even though that's not really rational, people are often irrational beings, so that is one of the major downsides. The second one is that it can often lead you to eat more junk food. And what I mean by that is, let's say you are eating 200 grams of carbs per day, and then in the morning, you really want to have that slice of cheesecake and it has 90 grams of carbs. The next thing you know, by 12 o'clock in the day, you've eaten over half your carbs for the day. You're going to be starving for the rest of the day, and your willpower is going to be really, really tested over the rest of the day to try and not eat over that 200 grams of carbs. And it's all going to be down to because you ate that cheesecake earlier in the day. And whereas if you had a meal plan, you obviously wouldn't structure it where you had majority of your carbs before even half the day was over. The other thing that can happen with eating junk food is that, even though again it's not really rational, some people will eat a certain type of food and all it will do is lead them to want to eat more of the same type of food. For me, it's something like protein bars. If I eat a really good protein bar, I want another one and another one, even though I know that it won't fit into my macros. Sometimes I often eat it and then I feel guilty or feel bad afterwards, and it just doesn't really help, especially when you're trying to diet down. So if you can avoid these foods, not necessarily because they're bad in small portions, but they're bad when you start consuming tons and tons of them, because these are trigger foods. So these are my macros, the proteins, carbs and fats that I eat every single day throughout the week. It changes from days 1 to 4, it's the same, day 5 to 6 it's the same, and day 7 is by itself. So here you go. So pause there or take a screenshot or whatever you want to see. These are the macronutrients that I eat every single day, the proteins, the carbs and the fats, and I'm gonna build a meal plan around each of these days. So days 1 to 4 are all the same, days 5 and 6 are the same, and day 7 is the same. So really I only have 3 different meal plans that I'm going to have to make, and they're not going to be that much different. So what I am going to do is basically make a meal plan with the foods that I enjoy and make sure that they hit the overall calories or the overall macros that are here in front of me, and that is going to give me the best success and the best of both worlds. So the best of the flexible dieting, because I can kind of eat what I want, and it's going to give me that rigidness or the less decision fatigue, because I'm going to have the meals planned out. Now what I'm going to do for day 7, which is my high carb day, is not have a meal plan at all. So at least it gives me that little bit of mental freedom, and I can kind of change around the foods a little bit and still have that flexible dieting approach. Now I'm not going to be 100% rigid on this. I'll probably give myself maybe 200 to 300 calories per day to just change around little types of foods, and I think that's going to be the best way for me to stick on the plan without kind of feeling really bad if I fall off the plan. So it'll give me a little bit of leeway to have maybe a muffin or something that I want, or a low fat ice cream or something like that, while still having that rigidness and that plan of a meal plan. I would suggest, if you're going to follow a meal plan, don't download something off like bodybuilding.com or a website that gives you foods to eat. figure out what your calories are, figure out what your proteins, fats and carbs should be, and then build your own meal plan. That'll be the best thing that you can do. It's going to set you up for success. So if you don't like eating fish and a rice cake, you don't have to eat fish and a rice cake. You can substitute something that you enjoy that has the same type of macronutrients. If you don't like eating white fish, which I don't really, you can swap it for chicken. If you don't like eating beef, you can swap it for, you know, a higher fat of chicken or something like that. But it's all going to be the same at the end of the day in terms of the overall calories and macros. Just make sure that you're following something that you can stick to. So guys, that has been my kind of rant on flexible dieting versus meal plans and how you can incorporate the two to get the best out of both worlds. So you still have the structure in your diet, but also have that flexibility and enjoy the foods that you like to eat. I'm going to go do cardio now, so I'm going to sign off. Make sure that you leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of this kind of setup. Do you like this informational stuff? I don't want to just do vlogs all the time. A lot of people are just doing vlogs. I want to still give the information and put it out there, but in a kind of a vlog style. Anyway, that has been my vlog today. I hope you enjoyed it. So if you liked the video, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Peace out. Bye.